Hey Houseguests, welcome to today's Big Brother 19 updates and spoilers. Our Houseguest of the day is Don Johnson. Don, thank you so much for the support. We really appreciate it. And if you guys would like to be Houseguest of the day like Don, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. Alright, so yesterday, there was some non-game related excitement in the house. Raven was having a fit because she misplaced her bracelet. It was that one with the green beads. She said her friend made it who passed away. So it has a lot of emotional value to her. So she was looking all over the kitchen for it, and she's like, I knew I took it off in here because I didn't want to get hamburger meat on it. That's such a like Raven statement. But anyway, a bunch of people were looking for it. Eventually Paul found it under the coffee maker, and Raven was like, not cool, guys. She thinks that somebody hid it to mess with her. So Paul's just like, it wasn't me. I know this looks bad because I found it after he like just made some joke, I guess, about somebody hiding it. And then Christmas was saying it wasn't me either because Christmas made coffee just before. So she doesn't want Raven to think that she put it under there. So then the discussion about the bracelet just rages on and on. It's like this dramatic moment. Raven goes around like hugging and kissing everyone for helping her find it. And Raven and Matt go up to the HOH room. And Christmas, Paul, and Josh head up there after. It's just, I feel like Matt and Raven like camp out in the HOH room. You're not the HOH! But anyway, Christmas apologizes to Raven. She's like, I may have moved it back by accident, and that's how it ended up under the coffee maker. And Raven's like, well, Alex said that she checked the coffee machine and it wasn't there, so like, maybe somebody hid it. Like, it seems like something's off here. So then Raven's like, it's no big deal. It's found. But then she keeps talking about it over and over again. So eventually, Matt and Raven leave. Josh was out of the picture too. And Christmas and Paul are alone in the HOH room. They are really annoyed that Raven is making this a whole thing. So Christmas says, that bitch loses that bracelet all the time. I do recall her misplacing it quite a few times and Matt having to look for it and find it for her. So I'm just saying, like, she takes it off and misplaces it quite a bit. But Raven freaking busts back in while they're talking, and she's like, someone effing did it. Because she recreated it to see if it was plausible. I think this is probably like something that she does with her ghost hunting, you know? On those ghost hunting shows where they like try to debunk all the sounds and stuff. So she was trying to debunk it and see like if this could actually have happened by accident. And she's like, no, there's no way. She's convinced that somebody did it on purpose to mess with her and to get her to like go off because she's freaking out about it. So she's like, I know that it wasn't you guys or Matt because I trust you. And Paul's like, do you really think that somebody would do that? And Raven says, yes. Okay, so then Raven and Matt are talking about it some more in the Apple Lounge. She's accusing various people of hiding the bracelet. Alex, Kevin, he's quick with his hands. She is convinced that somebody did this. I don't know for a fact what happened because I think the feeds were off. They were either down or just not on this when it was going on. So we don't know for sure what happened, but I really doubt that somebody hid her bracelet. So then Jason and Alex had a game chat in the Apple Lounge. Let's step away from the bracelet for a little bit. So Jason lets her know that Mark was campaigning to him just before while they were playing chess. While the whole bracelet thing was happening, Jason had to fake play chess with Mark. So Mark was asking him, is there any way I can stay this week? And Jason said, I told Mark, I'm sorry, but you're too dangerous to keep around. There's really nothing I can do at this point. So Mark is like, are you sure? Because I believe Matt and Raven are coming after you and Alex, which is true. But Jason and Alex don't feel that threatened by it. They don't think they're the next targets. But Mark also said, like, if you keep me, I will put up Josh and Christmas if I win HOH, which is funny because he told Josh and Christmas that he'd work with them. So, I mean, he's just like scraping bottom of the barrel now. It didn't work with Josh and Christmas before the POV ceremony, so he's like, you know what, I'm going to have to go ahead and say that they're going to be my targets because Christmas can't offer him a vote this week, and Josh is Josh. So, he's trying to get those votes from Alex, Jason, and Kevin. So Alex is like, no freaking way. If Mark stayed in one HOH, he would put up me and Paul. So it still sounds like Jason is kind of thinking about maybe getting rid of Matt and keeping Mark. He's like kind of into the idea, and Alex is like, no, we're not doing that. So Jason's like, but what if we made him promise? And Alex says, no, he blew his chance. It's over. Alright, so then Alex is saying that they have to win the next HOH competition. She wants to put up Matt and Raven, pretend that they're going to backdoor Kevin, but then really just vote out Matt. So Paul's plan is pretty much working out perfectly at this point, pitting Alex and Jason and Matt and Raven against each other. He's setting himself up real nice. So Alex is saying that she wants a final 5 with herself, Jason, Paul, Josh, and Christmas. So at that point, like if they make it that far, she thinks that they can get Josh and Christmas to go after each other. Nope. They don't realize how close Josh and Christmas are at this point. They think that they have Josh, but they don't. So then Alex, Jason, Kevin, and Christmas were all in the Apple Lounge, and they start like going over all of Raven's lies. This bracelet incident has really pushed a lot of people over the edge, because I mean this has been simmering all season, but it seems like yesterday there was a lot of discussion about Raven's various lies and all of her stuff. So I mean they were talking about financial stuff, medical stuff. They're like, why is she always flipping around? And then she's complaining about having arthritis, but she calls it arthritis. And Kevin's always saying like she's the most healthy sick girl he's ever seen. And then they're talking about how she eats and drinks garbage all day long. I mean, they never see her eating fruit. She barely eats any vegetables. She doesn't drink water. She only drinks Sprite and tea. Girl, you gotta get your nutrition together. So then they're also aware now that Matt and Raven are always banging in the Rose bedroom. This was confirmed by Zingbot. Also, Paul is claiming that he walked in on them the other day. So they're really, really tired of Matt and Raven. Also, they're like always cleaning the kitchen, but then the rest of the house, they're throwing all their shit all over the place. So people don't appreciate that. And Christmas says, that bitch stole my package of bacon. I know she did. Raven's always making this like gross ass candied bacon. Blech. Okay, so then after a while, Paul joins them. The talk turns to game stuff, and Paul lets them know Mark also campaigned to him over chess. It was just like the conversation with Jason. So Mark was claiming that he has Kevin and Jason's votes, and that he will be talking to Alex about her vote. So they're just like, no, we did not promise our votes to Mark. That's not happening. We just said, like, if you can get everyone to agree to it, we'll keep you. But they know that's not going to happen. It's like a classic BB line. If you could get all the votes, then sure, I'll vote to keep you. So then Mark was telling Paul also that he was not the only one who was thinking about getting rid of him. He says that Jason was definitely seeming like he was on board to do it when they had that conversation that was referenced in Jason's double eviction nomination speech. So then Mark was telling Paul, like, if you keep me, we can work together with Alex, Jason, and Kevin. So Paul was just like, why the hell would I want to keep you and work with you and somebody else who were talking about getting rid of me? That doesn't make any sense. So Mark was just like, fair point. But I feel like all night, Paul kept bringing this up about how insane it was that Mark was suggesting that he work with him and somebody else who wanted to get rid of him. I mean, it is a good point. That Mark was not the best at campaigning. But anyway, they all laugh about Mark's campaigning. It's not looking good for him. Alright, so then Mark pitches to Alex, as promised. They were in the money bedroom, and Mark is really trying to play up the super fan thing here because he knows that Alex is a big fan too. So he's like, I take this game really seriously. I want to be here. Matt has just been hanging out all summer doing nothing, and you should know, like, if Matt wins HOH, Matt or Raven, they're going to target you and Jason. So again, Alex and Jason do not feel threatened by this. So he's like, if I stay, I'll work with you guys, and I'll target Matt and Raven with you. And Alex is just like, yeah, at this point, I'm leaning towards no. But I'll think about it. As you will. So she says people are still really pissed about all the Cody stuff and Mark's involvement in that, so there's really no coming back from that. That's crazy. That was like freaking week 1, and that is still so prevalent in this game. Alright, so in other news, Big Brother was really cracking down on the house guests last night. There were a lot of stop that's and even some freaking calls to the diary room when people weren't listening, so they could freaking slap them out on the wrist. So Raven got in trouble for disrespecting her mic and our freaking ears. I can't deal with the screeching from her and Matt. Oh my god, it's a lot. Also, Josh and Jason got in trouble with their horseplay. They freaking love to wrestle each other. Alright, so then back to the game. Paul and Christmas were strategizing in the HOH room. Their plan moving forward is just to keep pitting Matt and Raven and Alex and Jason against each other. They're realizing at this point they don't really have anything to do. You know, Mark is going home this week. They've already got their targets freaking lined up. They just have to see what's going to happen, who's going to win HOH, and then they're going to determine who the target is from there. Because if it's like Matt or Raven, the target is Jason. If Alex or Jason win, the target is Matt. So they just have... Am I having a stroke right now? They just have to see what happens. Okay, so ideally, they would prefer Jason to go next week. And they're saying it wouldn't be the worst thing ever if Alex went for the temptation apple. I keep forgetting that those freaking apples are even up for grabs because everybody's like, we're not gonna do it. No, it's gonna be a team decision. So they're like, maybe Alex will go for it and she'll get the can't play in the HOH one, and that would make her vulnerable for the following week and good for them. So then Christmas is like, do you think I should go for an apple? And Paul's like, yeah, like that could work. You keep somebody else from getting it. You might not be able to play in the next HOH anyway. I mean, not this next one because she can't play in that one anyway, but the following week because of her foot. So he's like, maybe, you know, we'll have to think about it. So at one point while they were talking, Josh came upstairs and Christmas told him, you need to stop hugging me and smiling and winking at me in front of other people. I mean, I know what she's saying because she doesn't want people to know that they're working together, but it's just so, the way she said it was so funny. Like, stop hugging me. And it's interesting how Christmas and Paul are allowed to spend so much time alone together, but then Josh is not allowed. It's just really weird, the dynamics of this trio. Alright, so then Christmas and Paul were alone again. They're going over more of Raven's lies. Again, her lies were a big topic of discussion last night. Paul thinks that she's a compulsive liar. I could see that. I don't know. But they're also tired of Matt and Raven using all their stuff. She's using Christmas's makeup all the time. Matt is using Paul's beard shampoo. Don't be wasting that beard shampoo, okay? So with everybody feeling so like ugh about Matt and Raven lately, they'd feel a lot more comfortable with Josh winning HOH and then having Paul still be eligible to compete in the next one. So they're hoping Josh is going to be able to pull it out. We'll see about that. Alright, so then Mark visited Kevin in the money room and he was like, hey Kevin, if I could convince Jason and Alex to vote for me to stay, would you be on board? And Kevin's like, yeah, if they agree, like I do whatever they do, so whatever. And then Kevin says, I never wanted you to go. Matt and Raven annoy the crap out of him. He can't even be around them anymore. He can't even be in the same room as them. Whenever they're in like a big group, it seems like Kevin's been like shying away from the big group lately, and I guess it's just because he's so freaking annoyed with Matt and Raven. So then Mark continues his campaign trail. He's really working hard. I gotta give him that. So he freaking cornered Jason while he was in the shower, and he's like, Jason, what's your biggest hesitation about keeping me? And Jason's like, Alex and I are afraid that you're gonna flip on us. You know, you're a known flip-flopper in this house. So Mark is like, yeah, but I've never lied to you. I wouldn't flip on you guys. So then Mark walks away. Jason is still in the shower. He calls Alex over and he's like, can we just tell Mark that we're keeping him so that he'll stop bugging me? And Alex is like, no, we can't do that. Wow. Alright, so then Mark campaigned to Alex again last night. They were in the Apple Lounge and Alex was like, look, I really do like you on a personal level, but game-wise, you gotta go. Mark keeps pushing that the others are gonna target her and Jason, and he's like, I've never lied to you guys, why would I start now? And Alex keeps telling him, like, we gotta do what the house wants. And she says, if we could save you, we would. You know, honestly, Alex and Jason would be so much better off keeping Mark around, but they don't see that Matt and Raven are working with Josh, Christmas, and Josh, Christmas, and Paul at this point. So they don't realize it would definitely be better to get rid of Matt. So Alex is saying Matt and Raven are really annoying, but they're better for a game than you are. No, they're not. Oh my god, I wonder what Alex's reaction is going to be if Matt or Raven win HOH and put her and Jason up on the block. It's going to be nuts. Alright, so anyway, Jason joined them, and this conversation went on for a long time, but it was really a fruitless discussion for Mark. Nobody is planning on keeping him this week. He's campaigning his heart out, but it's just not working for him. Alright, so last night, Paul was freaking pissed at Mark because Alex and Jason let him know that Mark was saying that Paul's a flip-flopper, he's all over the place, and he floats from group to group, which is true. He basically just nailed Paul's strategy here. He's pissed about that. But at the same time, he's saying, like, oh, it's good because Mark clearly doesn't see who I really am aligned with. Alright, so let's talk about today. We got a glimpse of Christmas's foot because now she has that walking boot that she can take off to shower and stuff. So we saw it, and it's like all swollen and bruised, but at the same time it looks like a foot, so it's not all bad. I mean, it's definitely healing up, so good for her. Then there was an extended chat about pets today, Paul and Christmas especially talking about their dogs. And then game-wise, Paul was talking to Matt and Raven in the HOH room. He was filling them in on Mark's campaigning, and he's like, don't worry, nobody's buying it. Matt, you're staying this week, it's fine. So he brings up how Mark called him a floater. Again, he says it's great because he doesn't know where Paul's true loyalty lies. Does anyone? I mean, we know at this point that he is most loyal to Christmas and Josh, but I don't know. You never know. So then Matt is saying, yeah, it's great. We want people to think that we're just chasing rainbows. What do you think you're doing? Because that's what it looks like to all the live feeders watching too. And we see pretty much everything. So I don't know what you think you're doing in there. But Raven is then saying, they were talking about possible HOH competitions. They think maybe it could be some sort of endurance coming up because they've had a bunch of mental competitions lately. So Raven's like, I think if it was another endurance and it came down to me and Alex, I could get her to throw it to me. No effing way. So she's saying that her and Alex have this special, like, mommy-daughter relationship. No. So Paul was playing along with it, but then he was telling Christmas about the conversation with Maven, and they're not worried about Matt and Raven working with Alex and Jason at this point. They were a little bit paranoid about it the other day, but now they're just like, no. Raven seems to think that she has this special relationship with Alex, but they know, and we know, that Alex cannot stand Raven. There's no way that they would actually work together, so they're feeling pretty good right now. Other than that, not much happening today. It's kind of been a dead week so far, guys, and I'm sorry if these spoilers have been boring, but that's what's been going on in the house. So I'm really hoping that things are going to shake up after Mark is evicted tomorrow. It's going to be interesting to see who wins this next HOH competition. Let me know in the comments who you're rooting for. And until next time, much love.